The story of Jordan Neely being choked to death is racial because Jordan Neely's blackness made him vulnerable to premature death. This fact doesn't change because one of his abusers and many of the people on the train who failed to intervene was non-white. Because if you didn't know, because all you did was listen to Twitter, there was somebody else restraining Jordan Neely, and he just so happened to be non-white. So when I hear people going around spouting this is all rooted in white supremacy and bigotry and how dare this man, I'm wondering if anybody's seen these still images or video of this dude getting restrained by another person while he's getting choked out by this white guy. But to say his blackness led to his premature death erases every other factor that plays in the scenario, because black equals victim, and we must always be in fear of every other individual that walks this earth that doesn't have this sweet, sexy, chocolate melanin skin. Oh, how I feel bad for those black kids that went to schools that were predominantly white, which includes me. But I want to play this stupid game, because if this situation is rooted in racism and has a racial element because this man dared to have the skin of black people, which leads to a premature death, I want to play a game where I show you something and I want you to take a guess if this situation is racial because the perpetrator is the opposite skin color to the victims.
And in other news this evening, Tulsa County prosecutors charged the man accused of murdering 2 innocent victims in Tulsa. They've now charged him with a hate crime. Police say Carlton Guilford shot and killed London Hathcock at the Rudisill Library and then shot James McDaniel at a Quick Trip minutes later.
News on 6's Reagan Ledbetter is live with the new details from prosecutors. Reagan.
Greg and Lori, District Attorney Steve Kunzweiler says based on the evidence, they believe Guilford shot both men because they were white. Now, Oklahoma's hate crime is called malicious intimidation or harassment, which is a misdemeanor.
The information suggests that race played a role in it. I feel like that's something that we can prove, and would be something that a judge or jury obviously needs to listen to. So we'll present that information along with everything else.
Guilford is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for killing Hathcock and McDaniel, and 2 counts of shooting with intent to kill for shooting at 2 QT employees who were not hurt. Investigators say Guilford shot both men in the head from behind. They say Guilford continued to shoot McDaniel after he was already on the ground and even reloaded his gun and shot McDaniel in the head again. Guilford is being held without bond in the Tulsa County Jail, and prosecutors say that's needed in order to keep people safe.
Whenever you're talking about a dynamic where the safety of the public is at risk, in my mind, somebody who's killing somebody or doing harm towards somebody who they don't know, that really amps things up.
Now, I know what you could potentially say. Rooted in racism, it is not, because black people don't have the institutional power to be racist. Therefore, this crime is just a simple crime in America, and how dare us in any capacity view it as anything racial. It is stupid. It is abhorrent for you to even make that claim. And if you try to, I just have one thing to say. Fuck you. It is odd how we play this game of jumping through hoops to dignify what is racist and what is not. I could look at both of these examples and say none of them should have happened, and I could look at one and say this is rooted in a lot of hatred and racism towards white people because you have somebody openly saying because they're white. I can't look at this other scenario and say racial component just because one is one skin color and the other is another. All I can look at is a dude choking out another dude. More information will come out as to why this happened and how it took place, but I can't look at this and say it's all racial because this person is white. To spout these takes into the ether is absolutely ridiculous, because you actually need to know that the person who you're claiming is the racist is actually a racist, and I don't have that information. You speculating on it is not based in any form of evidence other than this person is not black. And it's sad how people want to jump through these hoops to make that the reality that they want in their minds without actually taking the time to understand every single step in detail that plays a factor in the situation. We only want to look at the skin colors and demonize one and praise the other, because one that's being praised is always going to be viewed as a victim in any scenario, and the other side is nothing but a bunch of colonizers. enterprises. I'm sorry, but I can't hop on that boat, y'all. I can't jump on that bandwagon to make it seem like we should look at this situation and automatically demonize somebody. I'm going to be over here waiting for more information, because in reality, more information will tell me what I need to know about this story, and believing somebody on Twitter will just make me look stupid. So subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.